What's happening, guys? Welcome into another boxing breakdown and prediction show for this weekend's Friday night ESPN Plus card over in Belfast, Ireland, between huge hometown favourite Mick Conlan as he steps up to take on former world champion TJ Doheny, in what should be a really exciting fight between two Ireland's finest. So let's get into it now. Conlan enters Friday night's fight as the prohibitive -700 favourite, with Doheny coming back at a +400. And to be honest, those odds do look a little bit wide to me. Conlan, no doubt about it, absolutely stellar amateur career, won multiple Commonwealth Games, European Championships, World Championships, won Olympic bronze as well back in 2012. And, he has some really high-level scalps on his amateur resume, including like Duke Maika, Nordin Ubali, Murjan Akhmadeliov, who have since all gone on to compete for world titles in the pro ranks. And in Akhmadeliov's case, is arguably the top guy right now at this weight. So, for all that pedigree, Conlan showed the amateur game. He still hasn't transitioned all that promise to the pro game yet for me, and he's honestly looked a little bit sloppy to me in some of his most recent fights. TJ Doheny, on the other hand, is almost the complete opposite to Conlan. Little to no amateur background for him, had to go down almost the Canelo route of picking up wins and experience off the club circuit to start his career. Even then, in places like Australia, Boston, Thailand. So, instead of being one of Ireland's favourite sons, which Conlan probably is, appearing on weekend chat shows, Conor McGregor walking into the ring in MSG for your debut as well. Doheny had the opposite experience, basically shunned by his own home press until he was at that world title level. But, what a professional career it's been for the Portlaois fighter. After all that adversity, then travel over to Tokyo, Japan, and unseat a reigning IBF super bantamweight champion in Ryosuke Iwasa in 2018, really was the stuff of dreams for Doheny, and he's shown what a quality operator he is on the world level over the last few years. He followed that world title win up with an 11th round stoppage victory of Ryohei Takahashi in 2019, before then losing his IBF title in what was a razor close majority decision loss to current number 2 ranked transnational junior featherweight Daniel Roman later that year in California. In a fight that honestly could have went either way. The rematch unfortunately never materialised for Doheny. He suffered a shock 8-round decision loss to Inuit Baluta in March last year, and what was effectively seen before then as a simple tune-up fight for him. And, that really dropped him from the world rankings, and through some savvy matchmaking on Top Rank's part, to their credit, Michael Conlan has since almost stepped into that breach left by Doheny. He avenged that loss to Doheny's by scoring a close majority decision win against Baluta earlier this year to almost overtake, the older Portlaois fighter on the world stage and becoming Ireland's #1 fighter at this weight right now. And, no doubt Bob Arum sees this as a perfect opportunity of a changing of the guard type fight here on Friday night, against the faded former champion Doheny. And, should Conlan get through this test, he'll no doubt propel him on to those world title fights over the next 12 to 18 months. He looks to generate some huge paydays for the popular Irish fighter, over in America. But, Doheny is the spanner in the works here. He is the epitome of a road warrior. This will be his first time fighting in Ireland since he turned pro, which is a statement in itself, to be honest. And, while he doesn't possess any of the razzmatazz or money-generating ability of a Michael Conlan, he's nevertheless shown that when he is on his game, he does belong at the top table in this division. And, that Belfast home crowd, as loud as it will be, shouldn't faze him all that much here. At 34, Doheny is arguably past his best. And on top of that, he's also been out of the ring for around 16 months as well since that shock loss to Baluta back in March. And what was pretty much his only really poor career performance to date. So it's hard to simply dismiss him as over the hill here. Either way, Conlan manages, whether he manages to step up a gear here or not and get the win on Friday against that perceived declining in Doheny. There's absolutely no value in backing the Belfast fighter here at odds of -700. That implies an 87.5% chance of victory here. And I have nowhere near that level of confidence that Conlan gets the job done here. The only way to play this one, in my eyes, is by taking the underdog in this fight, TJ Doheny, at +400. And, if Doheny can find anywhere near that kind of form, it was only 2 or 3 years ago, he should arguably be the favourite in this fight. So the books really are putting a lot of emphasis on him having declined that much, slipped that much, in a little over 24 months. So it's interesting to see if they'll be proved right. Whether that's the case or not, I simply have to take a piece of Doheny here in this one at those odds. And, at 4-1, it's a definite play on the underdog for me here. So take TJ Doheny plus 400 to get the win against Michael Conlan on Top Rank's ESPN Plus card over in Belfast on Friday night. Now, we have a top play loaded up for this weekend's other card over on DAZN in England on Saturday night as well. So make sure and join us for that. And that'll wrap things up for this week. As always, leave us your thoughts in the comment section below. You can also catch me over on Twitter at the SportsWolf83 and at my handicapper page, Kevin Dolan over at WagerTalk. As always, thanks for listening. Till next time, slán